If you are into cars, why not prefer this beast but the Ferrari Luce? The future is inevitable, my friends, but that's not what I'm gonna talk about. It's interesting home runs with massive legacies like Ferrari, Porsche, and
BWM.
seem to be losing some of the value and aura in the public eye, while brands like Pagani, Koenigsegg, and Napolo remain just as safe as ever with a perceived value untouched. This analysis, I want to talk about why some outsider brands survive and become legends, while others like Norris, Spiker, or Dever fade away. And if you don't know them, they might be a reason why. Before context, by the late 90s, brands like Ferrari became more corporate. They feared quite 50% the company, and also pays away. Lamborghini followed similar path, after being sacked by Audi, Volkswagen to Bugatti into a more technical showcase. The supercar stopped being handcrafted and became an industrial luxury pro, and that left amnesia. Extremely wealthy people who no want and know a Ferrari. They don't compete on value, they compete on meaning. An Argentine engineer whose platonic love is Leonardo da Vinci moved to Italy because of him and to chase his dream on winning supercars. Anyway, thanks to a recommendation there from Fangio, he ended up at Lamborghini in the 19th. The working point was when Pagani suggested Lamborghini invest in Car 5, but they refused to do it for the cost. Seriously, Pagani wake up with and bought his own autocolor. He never wants to read lots of cars or racing. He simply wants to create the best work of art possible. The result, the Sonda C12. A Baroque style interior, or to limit the production. Many brands loved, the public didn't. So why did it work? Pagani never tried to chase or perform. He positioned himself as a mechanical craftsmanship outside any category, and never promised more than he could deliver. Horacio stores something crucial. Myths aren't manufactured, they're protected. After seeing a Volvo 8050 estate, he asked himself, could this be surprised? It's so impossible, right? But it's debatable when he has come closer. After watching the fifth Supercar Grand Prix, inspired by a Mario Vento who with a car that dominated everyone else, he wanted to do the same. At just 22 years old, he found his run with no spoiler, no contacts, no name, nothing, except for one absolute and dangerous idea. Wait the best car in the world and never rush the rest. Sweden it's not Italy. There's no supercar culture, no surprise, no automobile around the scenes, nothing. And unlike Pagani, we can believe everything has to be logical, efficient, and technically superior. The result? CC, a Koenigsegg Competition Coupe. Featured a Car 5 chassis where almost no one was used it, Walica aerodynamics and no iconic behaviors that became a brand signature. It was a train car, aggressive but functional, and it sent a clear message: this Koenigsegg is not playing around. Unfortunately, between 97 and 98, with no Red Capital, no migration, housekeepers, and to make things worse, a Ferrari, nothing, they seemed inevitable for question this something different. He clarified an idea of the car. He wasn't selling hard, he wasn't chasing a program, he was chasing technical superiority. The result? The Competition Coupe 8-cylinder supercharged, the CC8S, the birth of the brand as a VI company, fully migrated and finally delivering cars in 2002. So what made the CC8S special? Supercharged V8 produces 655 horsepower inside for time, extremely low weight and very limited production. And here is where something crucial happens. The CC8S was recognized as the most powerful production car in the world. That gave Koenigsegg something that Pagani never chased: objective technical validation. No aesthetic, not emotional, technical. Ronald Goldberg, former head of Audi Sport, a technical genius with rare racing experience, he decided to start his own brand, Goldberg Apollo. Brutal, fat, efficient, and nominal and Nürburgring. But Goldberg only saw numbers, lap times, specs, performance. He never saw identity or emotion. It was the fastest car, but not the car you dream of owning. And then the 2008 crazy, few customers, and no story led to bankruptcy. But what about the program we know today? After the 2003 bankruptcy, a Hong Kong businessman, Norman Choi, the right to the name and infrastructure in 2016, but he didn't buy Gumper's philosophy or original team. Ronald Gumper was out. But I quit the point and some of I think that's it. Fun fact, Compra founded another run in 2021 car Arena Target, developing electric hypercars with methanol, and seems to be going well. 1990, Victor Muller, a businessman not an engineer, revived a historical run. But there was a problem: no technical foundation, no efficient production, and no financial discipline. But they created the Supercar C8. Beautiful car, incredible interior but very expensive, unreliable and poorly managed. And to make things worse, they both subbed and tried to create a Supercar sub conceptually beautiful, but it tried to be everything at once. Luxury, high volume, fat, and industrial zero. Instead of being everything and nothing at the same time. And to make a team better, Spiker bought the structure of an F1 team, Milan, but he only left 1 year before being sold into the site and become Force India. 99 again, they know a full engineer. The cars were incredible, but humble, no performance. Great another N12, great and chassis for driving essentials, and especially in a track only M400, at a reasonable price. The problem is there's no exclusivity, no narrative, no cult. Anyway, he still makes Supercars a hobby, and just because of that is a legend, but the run didn't become a legend. It's not a car you read off, but one you respect. Yes, that we are ordering an idea. Be the fastest. But no promise more than you can deliver it, or you will get into trouble. Constant communication, questionable records, and overtalk claims. One day can kill a run forever. The rules have been cancelled for weren't the first. They were that want to make it across the abyss. For the 70s to today, there have been many examples, and almost of them died for very specific reasons. I recommend looking into each story separately because it's to say at least fascinating. But what matters here is that it was a big 16 card that feels more like a product of 18 Hollywood. We ever seen that in place. Production costs get it, and beyond a bit 16 and a bit of cocaine, there wasn't much hobby together. German by Foundation, but in Italian spirit, a brand with very strange handcrafted cars, but beyond that, there isn't much to say. They make cars and gay today, but that's it. They're not trying to be fat, different, they simply exist. Critics often equate them as the generic sport cars. It became famous thanks to the severe speed tour, Gran Turismo, and other ways played a big role in that. And beyond winning why weren't like dangerous cars, it never became a grand myth in its time. That said, today it's starting to be recognized as a culture run. Good cars, beautiful cars, but with no real story or reason to exist, just pretty shares. The W8 and especially the N12 were iconic. This one actually has success and has shown in a structural direction. The problem was the idea it was internal conflicts and poor execution that eventually shut the lights off. The S7 is George's personally my favorite. It has your personality and got a long tension when indulged in Laguna Seca. The problem wasn't the car itself, but how people perceive its origins. A Mustang tuner. No status. At least in also those who expect something more aristocratic. Vean lejos. After they are foreign heroes, apparently because it's possible to ignore. The ones that survived didn't wait because they were faster, louder, or more extreme. They were survived because they followed a smart set of rules that most others ignore. These rules aren't about cars, they're about culture, escape, and meaning. Pagani, an emotional artisan gap. No one was defining the car as a science object. Koenigsegg, a technical gap. No one was truly questioning the limits of a road car. At the time, Bugatti didn't care about that yet. Apollo, no one was winning truly intimate unfrontal cars. These were rare, visible, and sustainable cars. Those who didn't, Gisetta. That's with the biggest engine, and that's its no gap is Koenigsegg SSC. That's be the fastest in a temporary gap. When someone faster shows up, you die. And then that's with the greatest car, and that's not a gap, that's a stunt. The common mistake here is confusing the inference with cultural necessity. Pagani doesn't race, doesn't compete, even worry about numbers. Shift the assets, art over performance. Koenigsegg doesn't optimize events. Shift the assets, system over a car. Apollo doesn't chase the usability. Shift the assets, impact over comfort. Those who think Spiker try to be a luxury and sport car, but Ferrari and Bentley were already doing that better. Noble try to be the best chassis, and that with technical respect, but not a run. And Arena Gompe play the numbering game. When someone says the first lap, you disappear. The common mistake here is they try to win games they didn't control. Pagani grows slowly, even we control more, perfect to frustrate customer rather than do it the run. Koenigsegg control production because every car push the run forward. In Apollo, learn from failure, few cars strong entity. Those who did the opposite was Vector, chaotic growth, Dowsy, bankruptcy, and ownership chains. Spiker, especially without a foundation, try to become a serious manufacturer temporary with a rare offer and demand. And there, for most money I could ever read, it can become ridiculous before a car even exists. The common mistake is they grow out of ego, not structure. Okay. There is a video about the most special end of rally, one with just 170 kilometers. Have you ever wondered why so many people buy insanely expensive cars and never actually drive them? We know that humans use others to communicate status. The theory of causing signal explains that extremely expensive behaviors are used to demonstrate power, resource, and social position. In a way that others perceive as a quiver because the cost is so high. In other words, only a extremely expensive, rare, overrated car sends a message to others. I can afford not just wear, whereas usually with no practical purpose. The more useful or spectacular the object is, the stronger the signal becomes. Buy expensive things not for the utility, but to display wealth and prestige. This has two sides, showing status. A supercar communicates externally achievement such as authority and social superiority. That message can be so important that many wealthy people prioritize it over the project itself. Think about that, Enzo. It doesn't mean to be driving, it's too risky, it doesn't work in reality. It exists just to say how you went, and for personal achievement and meaning. For many people, a supercar isn't just expensive, it's the physical manifestation of that goal. I worked through, I made, and I'm here. That requires a powerful internal reward, something that afterwards, like in investments, what they provide. Luxury car can be also explained through symbolic self-composition. It means we consume others to reforms or complete our self-image. It's not just owning a car, it's saying, I make weight on this forest. I'm ordinary because I'm different. A supercar doesn't just tell others what you have, it tells you who you believe you are, or who you want to become. Many rare or critic supercars exist not for human traffic, but to say, I belong to a group of people who understand this. This ain't just about external status, it's about external status. Belonging to understanding and feeling different even when one's or second worth. It's a form of psychological self-affirmation. Today, there are two minds to deal with.
Ostentatious status.
Big, visible, loud, for example have alert o economic Toyotas over recognized Ferraris. And discrete status, subde, only visible to insiders, for example have a baser. Ultra wealthy individuals often prefer discretion, yet they still enjoy only objects that, in the right context, only other privileged insiders can recognize. Because speech temporarily records get broken and designed to age. Speech become irrelevant, but meaning, if protected correctly, compounds. Pagani didn't wait because it was faster. Koenigsegg didn't wait because it was dollar. And Apollo didn't wait because it was practical. They won because they understood something deeper. They found a real gap, changed the rules instead of competing inside them, and they grew slower than the ego ones. That's the difference. Now, here's the uncomfortable part. This has nothing to do with cars. It applies to brands, franchises, creators, products, even personal positioning. Most players don't die because they're bad. They die because they chase temporary cars, escaping for identity solidifies, trying to be impossible instead of necessary. Different is enough. Unique cultural necessity, narrative gravity, and contour escape. That's the difference between noise and myth. And if you want to approach the realm with that their intention, you can reach me out. And we look it properly.